like Millet might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315. Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Originally designed by Charles Moneypenny, the same architect who created Daytona International Speedway, Michigan International is best known for awesome speeds and competitive racing, spawned by its broad racing surface and 73-foot wide, 18-degree bank turns. Michigan's width and steep banking ensures there's always more than one racing groove, and the fact that MIS is not a super speedway means that drivers have more than enough power to make a challenge out of the turns at both ends of the track. Once upon a time, Indy cars frolicked on those high banks at breathtaking speeds. Witness to Paul Tracy's record qualifying lap of 234.949 miles per hour. Today, Michigan regularly vies with Daytona, Talladega, and Texas as NASCAR's fastest speedway, with Jeff Gordon holding the NASCAR Cup Series track record at 206.558 miles per hour. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby and Davey Allison, Dale Sr. and Jr., Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson. They've all added their names to the roll call of MIS winners, one that also includes names like Andretti, Foyt, Unser, Mears, and Zanardi, from the days when Indy cars raced in the Irish Hills. Allison to Yarborough, Andretti to Zanardi, the world's greatest racing drivers have been coming to Michigan to test their mettle for more than 40 years. And the fans have followed by the hundreds of thousands. Tonight, it's the Prehistoric Forest 200, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Michigan Speedway for tonight's Downrange Transport Premier Series race, the Prehistoric Forest 200, presented by UNIXN. Practice just about wrapped up here at the Speedway. Let's take a look at race info before we get down to lap time. 78-degree air temperature, 49% humidity, cloudy skies, a 5-mile-per-hour breeze, and 96 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature. 100 laps, 200 miles around Michigan Speedway here tonight. Again, as you can hear, cars on track in the background. Best time so far is the 21 of Brandon Alphin, a 31:01. Diego Sainz, second quick, 39:04. Then Bondurant, Miles, and Fontaine, all within about a tenth of that fast time that the 21 has laid down. Just about a minute and a half remain in the session. While we have that minute and a half, let's take a look at our current point standings coming into tonight's race. Steve Miles, your points leader with 14:29. Brandon Alphin a close second. Then it's Sam Fontaine, Jason Dalton, Cameron Ingram. That's your top 5 point standings. And Alex Bryson, Alex Cummings, Diego Sainz, Justin Bondurant, Tristan Lattiser. Then 11th, Christine Blaine Sparling, Luke Knupp, Cedric Ingram, Sean Petchin in 15th, Josh Gagnon, Jacob Drift, and Chris Evans back in the 18th position. Speaking of Josh Gagnon, a little moment there out of turn number 2. Sam Barnes with a new livery on his machine this week. And immediately following the practice session, we will jump right into qualifying. 5-minute session, 2 laps to set the field. And Bard's really hanging it out there out of turn 2. This could be a real fun race to watch. Barnes up out of the groove into the fence there. They end the practice session. That's all right. No backup cars needed here in iRacing. See who hits the track first here. Looks like Sam Fontaine will be the first to hit pit lane and the first to roll. Down the backstretch up to speed into turn 3, looking for a green flag here in the next couple corners. Green flag in the air for lap 1 of 2 for Sam Fontaine if he opts to take both laps. Curious to see here actually which lap is going to be quicker. He's probably going to stay out for a second one after that moment out of turn 2. Lost a lot of time. Kept it out of the wall though. Was very loose. Rear end kicked out on him. Fontaine taking the high lane out of 4, trying to build some more momentum to start this second lap. See if he can lock in a good one at the stripe. Fontaine throws down a 39.46. That's about 4.5 tenths off that fast time in practice, though there may have been some draft there, but Alphin goes P1 with a 39.10, almost backing up his qualifying time, or correction, practice time. Remember, it was a 39.01. He's about a full tenth shy of that here. Down the backstretch, we'll see if he can improve. Nice and easy down to the yellow line in the middle of the corner. Starts to bring it back up on exit. Open up that wheel. Fontaine at the stripe. Sorry, Alphin at the stripe. Lap 2, 39.105. Consistent, but a little bit slower for the 21. See if he's going to have to sit on this time. Sean Petchin down the backstretch at 39.45 his first lap. He sits 10th currently. Let's see if he can pick it up his second lap. Big bump there on the apron, but at the line he goes P4, 39.189 for Petchin, a good lap. Chris Dean, the number 48 KJD2 Camaro, 40.52 his first lap. Working the backstretch down into 3 right now. '14th quick, 39.553. Tyler Brewer just crossing the line here on his second lap. 16th quick, 39.822, lap 1. Must have had an issue there. Doesn't register. Bondurant across the line as well. First lap decent, second lap even better. P5, 39.240 for the number 11 Monster Energy Supra. Steve Miles, the points leader. just taking the green on his first lap. Second quick to first lap, 39.136. We'll see if he can top that fast time that Brandon Alphen has put up on the board. Miles is going to have to find just about a half a tenth here, if even that much. Alphen wasn't able to improve his time on his second lap, and the clock is getting close to 5 minutes. He might not make it back around. Nope, he doesn't. Miles is only going to get the one lap in. So that's going to give Brandon Alphen the pole position here at Michigan. And with that, let's take a look at our starting grid. Again, on the pole, lap time 39.102, almost backing up the practice run. Brandon Alphen. Outside front row, it's the number 24 of Steve Miles, 33 thousandths shy, knocking the 21 off the top spot. Row number 2, it's the 44 of Diego Sainz. Fourth starter, it's Alex Bryson. Starting fifth, the number 69 is Sean Petchen, looking for a strong run here tonight. Starting outside, row number 3, it's the 11 of Justin Vonderon. Seventh starter, that's Cameron Ingram in the number 5. Jason Dalton in the 2, he starts 8th. Sam Fontaine, the number 77, he rolls from position number 9. 10th starter is Cedric Ingram in the number 19. The number 1 of Matt Telder starts 11th. I guess the ones are wild here this afternoon. Tristan Lattiser, the number 23, starts in the 12th spot. Starting 13th, it's the 79 of Josh Gagnon. Sam Barnes will roll from the 14th position. Alex Cummings, the number 63, starts 15th. Richard Midkiff out of Virginia, the number 29 starts 16th. Christine starting 17th. Tyler Brewer, the Nexus Motorsport entry, starts 18th. Chris Evans, the 00, 19th. Luke Strayer, the 41 with Grit Esports. He rolls from the 20th spot with Jacob Drift starting shotgun on the field in the 21st position. Your starting grid here for the Prehistoric Forest 200 Downrange Transport Premier Series. Field rolling down pit lane. One pace lap, and we'll be under the green flag here momentarily. Stay with us. We're not going anywhere. And we got the Drift King in the stream chat. What's going on, Drift King? Field working the backstretch here, trying to get formed up 2 by 2. We'll see if they wave off the start here and go another lap. Still got cars coming out of turn 2. We might be formed up pretty well here. So the 21 of Brandon Alphen and the Holler Boys Racing TV Camaro is going to lead them to green with the points leader of Steve Miles to the outside. Pace car pulls off turn 4 down pit lane. And we leave it to Barney the flagman to wave the green flag. He does, and we're underway from Michigan Speedway. Miles making a look to the outside down the back straightaway. The field working already for positions. Miles with a run to the outside. He's a little loose up out of the groove. Slides it up the racetrack. No marbles to worry about just yet, but the track is pretty green. At the stripe, who's going to lead lap number 1? Ooh, too close to call. Might have been Steve Miles. Alphin clears the 24 down the backstretch, but Miles giving the 21 a big push. Miles now having to be defensive here. The 44, Diego Sainz knocking on the door. Up the racetrack goes Miles. Sainz looking up the middle. We're 3 wide for the second spot. Bondurant on the bottom. 38 of Bryson coming into the mix as well. We kind of expected this. This is going to be a good one if it keeps up like this. Alphin back to the bottom. We watch topside. Miles still in the second spot. A nose out in front of Bondurant. Sainz still thinking about going back to the middle. Thinks better of it. Good thing because Bondurant closes the gap. Changing lanes down into turns 1 and 2. Goes low, goes high, still trying to figure out the best course of action. On to turn number 2, has a run, goes to the inside, down the back straightaway. Battle for the lead as Tyler Brewer gets a piece of the wall out of turn number 2, continues down the road. Alpha maintains the top spot, Miles drops back in behind, then it's Bondurant behind the 24. Diego Sainz topside, a little loose for Alex Bryson in the middle of turn 4. Tight battle here at the front of the field. You can throw a blanket over the top 4, maybe even the top 6. Alphin gets out in front just a little bit, about a car length out of turn 2. Diego Sainz now up into the second spot. Sainz has got a horse underneath him here tonight. Got some speed. He's closing in into the entry of the corner, but driving out is Alphin. He seems to be backing up his entry quite a bit. Miles looking to the inside of Diego Sainz now for the second spot. He's got it. On a turn 4, he's going to wash up the racetrack. Maybe a crossover from Diego. Thought about it, changes lanes again, goes topside. Still the battle for the second spot. That's where the action is, but maybe even now for third. Bondurant and Miles going at it. In behind them, it's the 5 of Cameron Ingram and Alex Bryson side by side for position. Behind them, it's the 2 of Dalton and Petchin fighting for position as well. We got battles all over the racetrack, already 8 laps in. Top 8 drivers starting to build a gap between the rest of the field. They're in their own little group. Matt Telder, the lead car in that second pack of traffic. Ladisser and Fontaine in the mix as well. Remember, Fontaine had an issue on his first lap in qualifying. Ended up starting in the 9th spot. Josh Gagnon slides up the racetrack. Don't know if he was chasing it or not, but there was a car in behind that gained a lot of ground. The car that gained a ton of ground looked to be the 00 of Chris Evans. Closed in on the 22 of Sam Barnes. think it all had a little bit to do with the checkup from the 79 sliding up the racetrack, trying to chase it, keep it out of the wall. Miles has now slipped back to the 4th position in behind Justin Bondurant. Brandon Alphin starting to stretch it out here, almost a half second over the 44 of Diego Sainz. Now the top 8 that have started to put some distance on the rest of the field, starting to single file out here. The battles are starting to calm down just a bit. Check back in that second pack. Matt Telder still in the lead there. The 23 of Lattiser, then Cedric Ingram in the 19. Sam Fontaine. Really only side by side that we even have close here is Josh Gagnon and Alex Cummings, but then behind them it's Chris Dean. We got Barnes, Chris Evans fighting for position. Jacob Drift coming into the fray as well. Three wide. Chris Dean on the bottom, slides up, tries to stay off the 00. He does, gets a little bit loose out of turn 2, but they get away with it. Barnes up the middle, he takes the spot from Chris Dean, and he may get 2 for 1 here as the 22 goes up the racetrack. He's going to try and defend here, but he's way up the racetrack, gets into the fence. Sam Barnes going to lose a bunch of spots here. Cedric Ingram and Sam Fontaine may be doing some battling in a moment here, but the battle for him right now is Josh Gagnon and Alex Cummings. Kind of getting teamed up on here. Ingram up the track, still maintains his position ahead of the 63 and the 79. Meanwhile, change for position up front. Bondurant challenging the 21 of Alphin for the top spot, but Steve Miles is coming into the picture as well. Maybe Alphin has put the pressure on his tires a little bit too much too soon. He slips back to the 3rd position. Bondurant goes to the point. Miles in the 2nd spot. And Alphin's in trouble more. Sainz is coming into this. Alex Bryson's going to try and take it as well. Meanwhile, though, they're 38 to 44 battling. They're going to split the 21. No, Alphin's going to go to the bottom and stop that from happening. Alphin's going bottom to top, top to bottom, trying to block the run the best he can here. Hoping the tire life kind of equals out after a while, but right now it's not the case. He's losing ground. Bondurant with the lead, Miles running 2nd. The other pack here, Telder still leading the group. And it's Lattiser, Fontaine, Alex Cummings, and Gagnon. Those are the 5 cars in this 2nd pack. Again, they're not running any kind of tapered spacer or restrictor plate here at Michigan. It's not a super speedway package. So they do have some power to work with as Fontaine's getting to the inside of Matt Telder here for this position. This would be for P9. We might have a battle up front once again. Steve Miles to the inside of Justin Bondurant as he gets into turn number 1. Lap 17. Miles going to try and get his nose out in the wind here. Still not able to clear the 11 out of turn number 2. Bondurant with the run on the outside. Miles going to switch lanes. He's going to try and go to the high side. It seems to work to defend. If he can get alongside the right side of Bondurant, he might have a shot to make the pass down the backstretch. Bondurant tries to take the lane away so he can get a better arc in the corner. Miles, though, keeps it way up the racetrack here. He's going to have a big run out of 2. He might get alongside. Nope, Bondurant tries to shut the door. Not enough room, not clear. Miles still to the outside. I don't know if he lifted or not, but it definitely broke the momentum slightly on that Ric Flair drip number 24. Still side by side. Miles seems to be just a tick faster. While this battle continues, there was an issue on the track for Matt Telder. Did not bring out the caution, but it appears he is in pit lane. We'll have to go back and look at that in a moment here as this battle for the top spot continues. Further back, the battle for the 5th position between Diego Sainz and Cameron Ingram. That's shaping up as well. Out front, Miles has finally cleared the 11, so new leader here coming to lap 20, Steve Miles. So let's go back and look at the incident with Matt Telder. This is out of turn 2 on the backstretch, locks him up, or does he? Tries to keep it out of the wall, but gets a piece. It looks like he had some help here. Let's try and back it up and get an idea of how he got all crossed up out of turn number 2. I don't know if he was just trying to stay off the 77, but either way, he lost the nose and got it in the wall. Clipped a couple other cars, but we stay green. Diego Sainz and Cameron Ingram battling for that 5th position. Ingram's just about clear, maybe not yet. He is now out of turn 2. Petchin trying to take advantage as well, but he's got to worry about the 2 of Dalton. Cameron Ingram disposes of Diego Sainz, takes the spot away. Now Sainz trying to defend against the 2 of Jason Dalton, but Dalton's got company. Sean Petchin coming into the fray as well. Side by side, Petchin goes to the bottom in turn 3. Could have tried to pull the slide job there. It's a little early for that, but he doesn't do it. Dalton battles back up top, carries the momentum back around the number 69 machine. Again, this is the battle for the 6th position. Matt Telder in the stream chat says he fenced me, talking about the 77 of Sam Fontaine. Try and go back and get another look at that. I don't know, in watching the replay, Fontaine appeared to be clear. Let's back it up further here. I want to go on the roof cam here, the 1. Call it a difference of opinion, but just a simple lift on the throttle, I think you would have avoided contact with Fontaine and the wall there, but I'm up here in the booth, you're behind the wheel. Telder makes a good point, though. It came across my nose, which takes the air off the nose of the car. Becomes very tight when that happens. Sam Barnes in the pits. Scheduled stop, perhaps, lap 25. We're quarter distance. Four tires and fuel for Sam Barnes. He's down and away. First car to hit pit lane here is a scheduled stop. Leaders go on by, so Miles, as the race leader, is going to put the 22 a lap down. And we're going to jump out and get our first HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Michigan Speedway, and we got some action here on turn number 2. Fontaine gets the wall. Don't know what that was all about, if that was just an oops or some guys are angry with the 77, but either way, stay under the green flag. Pit stops also starting to be underway. Fontaine comes down, so does the 23 Lattiser. Richard Midkiff just leaving his box from KJD2. Fontaine, a nice clean entrance into his pit stall. Appears it's going to be 4 tires in Sunoco Racing Fuel for Fontaine. A little bit of damage on the 23. I don't know if that's from that last lap ago, that incident where we got the right side into the fence. Cedric Ingram down pit lane. Four tires and fuel for the number 19 as well. Tyler Brewer just finishing up his pit work. He's got some right side damage as well. That's from very early on. It might have been lap 1, if my memory serves correct. Got into the fence off at turn number 2. A little bit of right rear damage. You see that spoiler is damaged as well. Bondurant in his pit stall as well. So we're within our first green flag pit stops of the afternoon. Steve Miles still on the racetrack as your race leader. And in fact, he's going to come down pit lane right now. His first stop of the day, it's going to be the end of lap 34. He will start lap 35 as he crosses the stripe. This is the one we want to watch here. Is he going to go with just fuel, 4 tires, 2 tires? Right side goes in the air. Brandon Alphin in his pit stall as well. Number 1 spot with the pole. Crew around to the left on the 24. It's going to be 4 tires for Steve Miles. Same for the 21 of Brandon Alphin. 35 laps in. New leader now, Josh Gagnon. He still needs to make his pit stop as well. He's got the 41 of Luke Strayer and the 00 of Chris Evans. First, second, third. Those 3 drivers trying to go as far as they can on this tank of fuel. Strayer taking a peek inside turn 3. The way these guys are driving, at least Strayer, I don't think he's going to pit this time. Gagnon off the pace in 3 and 4. He's coming to pit road. Locks it up a bit. It's all right. They're going to change him anyway. As long as he got it under pit road speed, he'll be fine. Chris Evans in 3rd place. He follows Gagnon down the pits as well. Gagnon first into his pit box here. Luke Strayer just getting into turn 3 in behind Diego Sainz. Strayer lets him go. See if he comes to pit road here. He's awful high up in the groove though. He stays on the track for another circuit. Last guy out there to do it. Maybe he's going to hope for a caution here and catch it real lucky. Of course, really, there's 16 cars on the lead lap. It's a good majority of the field at this point, so it's not going to work out the best. But if he gets a caution, at least you get that pit work done without worrying about losing a lap. Out again. Strayer just trying to lead some laps here, it seems, at Michigan Speedway. He's got 26 seconds over Steve Miles. Remember, Miles came in. He was the race leader at the time. He has completed his pit work. Looking at the laps here, Strayer's last lap by a 41.20. Steve Miles on his new tires a 39.52. So he's going to chew into this margin quickly. I tell you, if I'm Luke Strayer, I know he's trying to hope for a caution here, but if he waits too long, Miles is going to catch him anyway, and he's going to be guaranteed to be a lap down, and then he's going to need a caution just to get back on the lead lap. But he's going to have to pass a few guys to do that. So we'll see how this works out. Still has 25 seconds to play with, 61 laps to go. So looks like this could turn into a two-stop race. Michigan not only known for high speeds, but it very commonly becomes a fuel mileage race. Tyler Brewer up into the fence. Just scrapes the right sides. He's going to have some damage here. I think he's pretty well off the pace. Brewer had some damage prior to that incident, but now the right front's banged up as well. Strayer still with the lead. Again, the gap just continues to shrink every single lap. 22 and a half seconds the advantage for Strayer. Now this really could work out in the end as long as he can get through this without losing too much track position. He might be able to get his tires, get back out there, and then have a bit of a tire advantage over the rest of the field. It's lap 42 right now. Steve Miles in second place. His pit stop came at lap 34. So I don't know if Strayer can go another couple of laps. He could have a 10-lap advantage in the tire category. We'll see. But then that just kind of compounds itself through the next caution. Sorry, next pit cycle, if we get a caution. Strayer's going to come down now. Out of turn 4, hard on the brakes. No mistakes, that's what he needs here. Cleanly into the pit stall. Miles just now going by as the race leader. Strayer still in the box. Let's see if he can get this done and get back out there. I don't think he's going to lose a lap here. This really could work out pretty well for the 41. So coming back up to speed is Luke Strayer. Steve Miles just now getting into turn number 3. Strayer still needs to worry about that commitment cone, or that pit exit cone. The blend line, as it's called. Back up to speed in a little bit of traffic here. That's okay. Draft does play a part here at Michigan Speedway, so some cars out in front at a distance, not a bad thing. It's not going to take too much air off the nose. So let's check it again here. At the stripe comes Luke Strayer after his pit stop. And still into turn number 3 comes the race leader, Steve Miles. So Strayer's going to be in good shape here. He's going to have the pace over the 24 for a little while at least. Now a caution right now would really work out nicely for Strayer to get caught up. He's running 18th right now. Already picked off one spot. Now he's in the 17th position, just getting by Tyler Brewer. Says drink bleach on the TV panel. Don't think I need to tell anybody that's not a good idea, but it's not a good idea. Don't drink bleach. Sam Fontaine up a spot from qualifying in the 8th position. Jacob Drift in 9th, just behind. Sean Petchin up almost to the top 5, running at 6th. Petchin started P5 here today. Steve Miles has inherited that top spot. That happened when Strayer took the opportunity to hit pit lane. He enjoys a 2.3 second advantage over the 11 and Justin Bondurant. Jason Dalton running third, Cameron Ingram fourth, and pole sitter Brandon Alphin running in the fifth spot. Want to make note here that the one of Matt Telder after the contact with the outside wall off turn number 2 with Sam Fontaine is now out of the race. Will finish today in the 21st position. Petchin closing in on Brandon Alphin. That would be for the 5th spot, but he's also got Alex Bryson closing in on him. Look at these cars hanging it out off turn number 2. Let's see if we see it again here out of turn number 4. Right rear just hung out in the wind on these cars in front of Alex Bryson. Bryson closing in on Petchin and Dalton here. Little lift into 1. Dives it to the bottom. He's going to try and take the spot from the 2. Takes the position away. Move Bryson up to 6. Petchin up to 5th. I think that's all from the 2 of Dalton dropping back. It's Brandon Alphin in the 4th spot. Knocking on the door of Cameron Ingram in the 5. Bondurant not closing ground on Miles as Miles continues to increase his lead over the 11. It's 2.7 seconds. Alphin taking a peek. This would be for the 3rd position if he can get him clear into 3. Dives it to the bottom. Can slide up here if he wants, but the 5's going to have a little bit of a run on a 4, but I don't think he's close enough to do anything with it. Brandon Alphin back into the top 3 here at lap 52. Miles just starting to put a gap on P2. It's almost 3 seconds now. Watch this battle now. Sean Petchin in the 5th spot. Alex Bryson knocking on the door. Smoke up ahead. What was going on there? Somebody must have saved it. I don't know if it was Brandon Alphin or Cameron Ingram, but somebody put some smoke up there. Sean Petchin lifted, gave up the spot to Alex Bryson. Bryson's going to take position from Alphin, and he's going to challenge for Cameron Ingram into 3. He's going to pick up 2, at least, maybe 3 spots. What appears to be a very close call with these drivers in this fight. Bryson in the fourth spot for now, trying to take it away from the 5 of Cameron Ingram. Ingram up top in the black, white, and red machine out of turn number 2, just barely off the safer barrier. Bryson with some drafting help from the 21 for a moment. Now the 21 goes up top side, tucks in behind Cameron Ingram, trying to get that better arc, but on the bottom is Bryson. He's got room to slide up and clear, but the crossover might be coming from the 5. He thinks about it, stays tucked in. Aggressive racing here for the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, Dalton and Petchin fighting as well. Petchin on the bottom, the number 69. Number 2 of Dalton up top. Jacob Drift in behind. Petchin ducks back into the back bumper of the 2. Single file down the backstretch. Jacob Drift going to take a look to the inside here in turn 3. But with that, we're going to take one more HBR TV side-by-side break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Michigan Speedway, 40 laps remain here at the Speedway. Steve Miles still out in front, 3.4 seconds over Bondurant, but we continue to watch this great battle within the top 5. Sean Petchin has it for now. Jacob Drift in 6th, trying to come up there and take it away, and Petchin real loose out of turn 2. It's going to cost him some speed and momentum. Alphen closes in within a couple of feet off the back bumper. Drift is going to go to the inside of the 21 in turn 3, and Alex Cummings is just trying to figure out where he wants to go. Oh, contact with the 21. Drift sends Alphen up into the fence. I don't know if he got a piece of the wall or not. Jacob Drift pulling his best Denny Hamlin impression. Sends Brandon Alphen up to the fence. At least he doesn't hit it. Drift into the 7th spot. Cummings takes advantage and takes both the positions away. As I said, he was just sitting there trying to figure out where to go. His answer came pretty quickly when the 14 and the 21 came together and lost a lot of momentum. So lap 63 up on the board here. We have gone caution-free. I hate mentioning that because you usually get one as soon as I say it. But as I said earlier on in the broadcast, Michigan Speedway, yes, it's fast. But a lot of times we end up with a fuel mileage race. And it might come down to that. Steve Miles still on the track here. His first pit stop was at lap 34. So if, and that's the big question, if he continues on that trend, we should see him here in the next handful of laps. And that would be enough to get him to the finish. So let's get a quick rundown here. Steve Miles still your race leader, almost 4 seconds ahead of the 11 of Justin Bondurant. Bondurant running in that 2nd spot. Started 6th here today. Alex Bryson running in the 3rd position. Cameron Ingram, a strong run for the 5 here today. He's up into 4th. Sean Petchin started 5th, runs 5th. Still a solid run thus far for the number 69. Alex Cummings started, he's up 9 spots. He's having a good afternoon. Better afternoon though, Jacob Drift started dead last here today. He's up into the 7th position. Brandon Alphen started on pole, running 8. Luke Strayer in the 9th spot. Again, talked about his strategy. Seems to be working out for now. Tristan Lattiser, your top 10. And I jump off of this as we've got drivers hitting pit lane for their 2nd round of green flag stops. Brandon Alphen, Justin Bondurant alike, knowing full well that they can make it to the end on fuel. This is just going to be their tire strategy. Now, these drivers were all given 3 sets of tires over the wall to work with. So even after this stop, they will still have 1 extra set to their disposal if necessary. Race leader in the pits, Steve Miles, is going to yield the top spot to Sean Petchin. Petchin stays on the racetrack to lead a lap. We'll see how long he stays out. A lot of drivers on pit lane. Jacob Drift as well. Alex Cummings. Cameron Ingram. Alex Bryson. Busy place. Cummings and Cameron Ingram almost come together on pit exit. Now Petchin, after leading his lap, he comes down pit lane for his pit service. Likely the final stops of the day. Granted, a caution would certainly change that strategy for a lot of these drivers. But if we go green to the end, we can all make it from here. So here we go again. Luke Strayer out in front. Remember, he waited about 8 or 9 laps longer to come down pit lane comparative to Steve Miles and many others. Miles came down this time at lap 66, a couple of laps earlier than we expected. We'll see how long Strayer stays out on the racetrack this time. Listening to Strayer make laps here, it almost seems like he's trying to save some fuel. They're at a point where the stop, he'd make it to the end, but I think he's trying to go as long on this run as he can, make full use out of that set of tires that he's going to take with 31 to go. Remember, Strayer pit last at lap 42. So, I don't know, if he does the same thing here, and we talked about that with Steve Miles as well, if he does the same thing here, it's going to be lap 84 with about 17 to go. That's going to give him fresh tires to the finish. He can really abuse them all the way to the end. Problem is you don't want to put too much heat into those tires. Regardless of how much tread life you've got left, you get them too hot, they're not going to cooperate. Brandon Alphen, after his stop, he's mired back in the 15th position. Again, many drivers still needing to make a pit stop here to finish this out. Jason Dalton running in 6th. He's completed his stop. Tyler Brewer in the pits. He's going to come down for his final stop of the day. Chris Evans up into the top 5. Started 19th, having a strong run. Still needs to make his pit stop here. He came at lap 36. Dalton goes on by. Strayer now with a 15-second lead over Steve Miles. That is far less than the advantage he had in that first round of pit stops. It was almost 25, 30 seconds the last time, so he might need to change up his game plan here a little bit. Also might need some assistance from a yellow, but again, we've been caution-free for the last 74 laps. Rather impressive. Cedric Ingram down pit lane. What should be his last stop of the day. Strayer goes on by back into turn 1. He's led some laps here today, but I don't know if he's going to be able to work this out strategy-wise to work the way that it needs to. Last lap for Strayer of 41.25. Steve Miles at 39.93. Again, the deficit with 26 to go. Less than 13 seconds now for Strayer. He's going to have to make a stop. Here he comes, coming down right now. Let's see if he gets it woed up in time. Locks him up. Oh, it's going to be close. Hopefully he got her woed down. Strayer in the pits for his final stop of the afternoon. 25 laps to go. Strayer crosses the stripe. Miles takes the top spot away. Pit work to begin on the number 41. Four tires and fuel. Looks like he got woed down in time. Other drivers in the pits: Dalton, Fontaine, Sam Barnes. Out of turn number 4, it's race leader Steve Miles, still with 3.6 seconds over second place Justin Bondurant. 24 laps remain. Bondurant giving it all he can there. A little loose out of turn number 2. You see the distance back to the 11, though. 3.8 seconds. It's only a few seconds, they say, but you look at it on the racetrack, it's almost the entire backstretch. Drivers that have made their pit stops, looks like everyone's got them completed at this point. So unless we get a yellow, I think the pit work is done for the boys down pit lane. Of course, I say that, and Richard Midkiff peels off the banking and heads down pit road. All right, one more. We missed one. Damage on the 29, maybe an unplanned stop. Now he's going to throw some tires on it. So Richard Midkiff, a late pit stop here with 22 laps to go. Currently sits in the 20th spot. Twelve cars on the lead lap. Diego Sainz in that 12th position, the last car on the lead lap. Steve Miles still out in front, increasing his gap on the 11 of Bondurant, 4.4 seconds as he works the backstretch. No pressure out the back window for Bondurant either. Bryson's back there for about 2.5 seconds off the 11. The Gradient Concepts, number 38. Cameron Ingram about 1.5 seconds back there, but Alex Cummings thought he was battling with Sean Petchin for a moment, but it's actually Tyler Brewer. Brewer running 17th, 1 lap down. Alex Cummings making a move here on Cameron Ingram for the 4th position. Doesn't have him clear. Oh, it's going to be close. Right on the back bumper, going to loosen up to 63. Cummings keeps his foot in it. Certainly wasn't easy. Alex Cummings earned that one for sure, but I don't think he's done fighting off the 5. does have the pace there, it seems. He's starting to put some distance between himself and Cameron Ingram, but Tyler Brewer, albeit not on the lead lap, he's got some pace. He's sticking with the 63. Jason Dalton in 13th, now on the lead lap, got his lap back. Josh Yannian in the 18th position. He's the outside of Ingram here, not a battle for position. Now the battle for the 6th position. Sean Petchen trying to hold off the 14 of Jacob Drift. Only 16 laps to go. Steve Miles still out in front, 5 seconds the advantage he has on the 11 of Onderon. Really just needs to be cool, calm, and collected here for the rest of the way. Drift with a run out of 2, tucks back in behind, not quite enough to get alongside Petchen. Continue to watch this battle between Jacob Drift and Sean Petchen. Petchen with the 6th position. Drift started dead last. Keep in mind that here. He runs in the 7th spot, wants more. Can't say that I blame him. Having a solid run here at Michigan so far. Drift with a run. Keeps his foot in it, lifted just for a second. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Side by side through 1 and 2. Petchen's going to get the run out of the corner, down the straightaway. Jacob's got the ability to get back to the throttle a little bit sooner than the 69 of Petchen. But Petchen's got that high line. He can really carry a lot of extra momentum out of the corner. Drift now going to the high side, seeing if he can try the same. Again, he's close enough that he's going to get a little arrow tight on exit. Push the nose. Doesn't want to turn when you get too close to the car in front of you. This battle starting to cool off between Petchen and Drift. Cameron Ingram still running in the 5th spot, started 7th. Starting to wonder if Jacob Gladich, or Jacob Drift as we've been calling him, has burned up his stuff here a little too early in this run. He's losing the back bumper of Petchen, and he's actually got a lap car starting to close in. Like the 29 of Richard Midkiff. Now I'm starting to wonder if Jacob just cooled his tires off. He's starting to close back in. Still a couple of car lengths off the back bumper of Sean Petchen here with 10 laps to go. He's got time to do something with them to see if he can make it happen. Petchen pit at lap 67, so he does have just about a 1 lap tire advantage over the 14. That's not saying a lot, but it may matter. Cameron Ingram still in that 5th position. He's got Josh Gagnon to his outside. Josh still not on the lead lap. Back out front, a dominant performance thus far for the 24 of Steve Miles. Continues to lead, continues to increase the gap between himself and P2 Justin Bondurant. It's almost 6 seconds as he works out of turn number 4. Going to be 8 laps to go at the line. Solid day thus far for Steve Miles. Started outside front row. We don't know if that second lap in qualifying was going to be enough to put him on the pole. Still started front row. Put the pressure on early to Brandon Elfin. Elfin has dropped back now, currently running 8th. Miles has been the car to beat all race long. Chris Dean in the pit lane. This would be his 3rd stop of the day. I don't know if he just miscalculated the fuel or what have you. But from 15th, he's going to come down. He's topping off the tank. Now he's going to take tires too. Still the battle that we're watching here. Sean Petchen in that 6th spot. Holding off the 14 Adrift as Drift gets into the fence. Rides the safer barrier. I don't know if he just got a late turn in and caught a piece of the wall. That's going to cost him some big time track position and likely a shot at that 6th position. Still has almost 7 seconds on the 8th place of Brandon Elfin, so he doesn't have too much to worry there, depending on how badly damaged the right side is. It doesn't look terrible. Rear spoiler, right rear looks okay. It's the right front that might have a little bit of damage on it. He's trying to get a better look. Yeah, a little right front. And right front fender's pushed in just a bit. I don't see a tire rub, but it's certainly going to affect the aero handling on that car for the next 5 laps of this race. Sean Petchen closing in on Cedric Ingram. Unfortunately for him, it's the wrong Ingram. He wants Cameron Ingram because that's a pass that would be for position. Cedric is running 15th, 1 lap down. Petchen clears the 19, sets his sails for the 5. Still has 1.2 seconds to try and make up with less than 4 laps to go. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, but I'm sure he's going to give it his all. Petchen would love to get a top 5 out of this, especially he was able to qualify there. You never want to finish lower than where you started. Miles out of turn number 4. Going to see 2 laps to go at the line. He's got his fingers crossed he can make it back to the white before we see a yellow. We haven't seen one all afternoon long. Miles clean into 3 and 4. And there it is, white flag waves for the 24 is Steve Miles. Final lap here in the Prehistoric Forest 200. One more lap, 2 miles for Stephen Miles to cap off a dominating performance here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Out of turn number 2. No pressure out the back. He's got 6.5 seconds to the 11 of Bondurant. Maybe a lap car to contend with. Doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. Keeps it up high in the middle of 3 and 4. Drops it down to the bottom and checkered flag in the air. Steve Miles wins it here at Michigan. Second place, Justin Bondurant. Third, Alex Bryson. Alex Cummings fourth. Cameron Ingram brings it home with the top 5. And celebrating through the grass. Steve Miles going to tear up the turf. Once again, a very happy driver of the Ric Flair drip, number 24. And you think with all the debris on the tires going through the grass, there should be no problem to get that thing lit up. Took him a minute, but he's got her going now. Miles parks it in victory lane. We're going to jump out here and get our final break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Michigan Speedway, the Prehistoric Forest 200 Downrange Transport Premier Series. It's in the books. Steve Miles, your race winner. Justin Bonnarant, second. Get a minute here and get a word with our race winner. Steve Miles will pull him up in the broadcast booth. Sorry, we're just checking up, make sure we got the right lineup here. 24 is Steve Miles, your race winner. Here we go. Steve Miles, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
I'm good. How about you, man? How you doing?
We got you. We're this is becoming a habit with you. You win the race here at Michigan, dominant fashion. Didn't take the pole, but I just gotta wonder. Maybe you know better than anybody else. Did you have enough to knock Alphen off that top spot in that second lap that you just couldn't get completed?
I did. I told him that too. I told him that was my first lap and I lost it in 4. I was spinning my right rear. I was sideways on a 4 and I told him he got them 300s. He lucky. But I was still proud of him though, getting the pole. You know, we're best friends. You know, we raced so many different leagues together. He's my teammate. So I mean, yeah, I had enough to get him, but he'll say the same thing. He had enough to get me. So.
Well, either way, you start outside front row. You put the pressure on early. I think you kind of forced Brandon to burn up his stuff a little bit as he quickly dropped back. You took over the top spot. Green flag from the green all the way to the checkers. So we were wondering if this was going to turn into a fuel mileage race. It didn't. You had different strategies across the board. What was your strategy coming into tonight?
Same as always, just like Alphen, man. Finish in the top 5 or 10, be consistent. Stay out of trouble. At the beginning there, I wanted to just lead a lap and then fall back and just see how the tire wear was going to be. And I let by Diego, Bondo, I let them go past me and just rode. And then I felt like with that dirty air in the tires that I saved, I had to like make a move and get to the front just to see how everything would play out. And I mean, once I got that lead, it's a whole different strategy for me. It's managing the lead and that guy behind you short pitch you and you stay out too long, he's gonna pass you, put you back in that dirty air. But it was all about the distance between me and Bondo. Me and Alphen, we talked so much, and AB too. Yeah, he got a top 3 finish today. But we talked so much on fuel strategy and just seeing how people were short pitting. I mean, that wasn't our strategy. We're in the front. I mean, they have to do that if they're in the back. But I mean, luckily, no cautions, I mean, the last 20 laps, I was just expecting it, man. But we had another set, so I wasn't really mad about it or nothing, but it was crazy, man. I don't even know how to get it all through my head. I'm still stuck in race mode right now. My adrenaline pumping, I'm sweating, got the fan on. I'm just happy to be here, but at the same time, the job's not done. It's just the end of the regular season. We got 4 or 5 races to try to win and get this championship for the team and for me or for Alphen or for whoever.
Well, now it's about time for a cold drink, but we got to ask, next week we're going to switch things up a bit, get out of the regular season mode, go to the LA Coliseum for the All-Star race. How do you feel about these cars out at the LA Coliseum?
I'm going to be honest, I'm taking a week off. I'm not even trying to wrap my mind around it. My mind is set on Talladega in the playoffs. It'll be good to take a little break. These 12-hour shifts are getting to me, so it'll be good to take a Wednesday off. And I mean, I wish whoever wins it, I wish they good luck to them, but that's not, they don't count for me, that race. So now I'm ready for Talladega.
Well, Talladega being the next points-paying race, the first race of the playoffs. Man, somebody's a sadist in this scheduler. Going on the Super Speedway to start the playoffs, that's totally a wild card. Then we go into Road America, talk about another wild card, and then a couple of cool tracks, Nashville Fairgrounds, and then Homestead Miami Speedway, a couple of great places for racing. How do you feel about your chances to really lock this season up, rolling through the playoffs and take a championship home?
Super Speedways and mile and a halves are my thing, so I mean, I'm not really worried, which I should be, since it's the beginning of the playoffs and it could ruin everything. But just like last season, man, my weak point on road courses, man, I feel like I need to practice on that extra. I mean, that's what messed up my playoffs last season was Indy Road and Fairgrounds and Homestead. I feel like, I mean, I've been in the top 8 every race, so I feel like I get it again. It's just staying out of trouble and being at the end and having good luck, man. But I'm just proud of this team, man, and everything we did and accomplished so far. So just hope we keep it rolling.
We certainly wish you the best of luck, Steve, rolling into, well, maybe not next week, but the next 2 weeks. Congratulations, and who do you want to shout out to before we let you run?
Appreciate AB, JW Miller. Unfortunately, he had work. He missed it today. Alvin, you know, we've been teammates, me, him, and AB for so long now. Appreciate TI Racing, Laser Racing. Appreciate you for broadcasting and Sean Peacham for putting this league together. And thank God and my girlfriend, and that'll be it.
All right, Steve. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck.
You too.
Steve Miles, great interview. We're doing it a lot lately. He's been winning some races. He's certainly the favorite rolling into the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. Going to take the All-Star race off. Very interesting. Your points leader taking the night off. Maybe the race admins could change his mind, but we'll see how that plays out. But enough of that. Let's go to Justin Bondurant, our runner-up. Let's pull Bondo up into the broadcast booth. Justin Bondurant, Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got us?
I got you, man.
Justin, congratulations. A P2 finish here at Michigan. Nothing to shake a stick at. Seemed like lap after lap, though, Miles was just putting more and more track between you and him. Was there anything you could have done different, whether it was strategy or just raw pace that you could have done that you could have caught Miles there at the end?
No, I don't think anybody had anything for Miles. He was in another league tonight.
So with that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I was going to say, the only thing I tried was the pit as early as I possibly could to hope he would stay out longer, but he'd come in the next lap every time.
Well, he did mention that actually in his interview. It's like, you know, you got to keep in mind of the gap, the guy in second place, because if he tries to short pit you and undercut you, he's going to come out and you're going to be faster. But he was smart to pay attention to that. It was a good move on your part, but if he picks up on it, there's not a whole lot you can really do. But either way, a solid finish for you here at Michigan. You started 6th, you finished P2. That's always a plus when you can move up through the field. Next week, I know Miles isn't going to run the All-Star race, but are you planning on running it?
Yeah, I am.
So LA Coliseum with the Xfinity car, how do you feel about that?
I don't mind it. I've done it in the Cup car and in the truck. It's not too bad. I like it.
Well, we certainly look forward to it. Aside from that, once the All-Star race is over, it's an interesting time for the All-Star race because you go from there right into the playoffs at Talladega. Bit of a wild card. How do you feel about your chances in round 1?
It's gonna be tough. I usually don't finish very strong in the super speedway races, but we'll try to have a strong finish.
We certainly wish you the best of luck, Justin. Before we let you go, who do you want to shout out to?
Shout out everybody on the Lap 1 Legends team. Shout out Alex. He had a good finish tonight. I think he finished 4th. And then shout out you, always putting on good broadcasts.
All right, Justin. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Justin Bondurant, your runner-up here from Michigan. Next, we're going to go to Alex Bryson. The number 38 was strong here tonight. Let's get a word with the driver of that number 38. Alex, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Alex, congratulations, man. A top 3 finish here at Michigan. You were strong. We noticed it a lot tonight. You had them pace. You were racy behind these guys, and you brought it home in the top 3, man. Tell us about your strategy and walk us through what you did differently, if anything, from your game plan tonight.
Honestly, I'm not a strategy guy. Honestly, I just kind of load in, put my practice laps in throughout the week when I can, and, just felt really comfortable. I've always been pretty comfortable at Michigan, always ran well here. Knew I wasn't going to have the speed that Miles and Bondo had, but, just try to, keep pace with them, learn a couple things from them, and, just try to, race with some of the best drivers up front here. But overall, no strategy, just, had a really good run there with Cam, and with about 10 or 15 to go, I seen Cummings start to come, and he was really starting to catch up a little bit, and I knew that I needed to, buckle down and bear down a little bit and, start to get back into a rhythm, because I felt like I kind of got off a rhythm there. But overall, just kind of cleaned up my act there the last 10 laps and just kind of hung out and, worked out for me.
It's the thing about strategies. You can use it to try and win a race, and in some cases, it'll let you win a race, but in many cases, you can kind of strategize yourself out of a win. So just going out there, like you said, load in and go, get the lap times in and start running your race. It worked out for you. You finished top 3, so job well done.
No, I appreciate it. I'd like to thank everyone who watches this stream, and want to give a big shout out to Gradient Concepts and Ben Pierce for their awesome paint scheme. Just kind of has shades of my mom in there. My mom passed away almost 4 years ago, so I know these were her favorite colors, and I wanted to put them on the car and, just run it for her. I want to thank my teammates, Stephen Miles and Brandon Alton, especially Stephen Miles. That guy's just fast. I mean, you guys see it every week in and week out. The guy's just electric, and we're just electric as a team right now. And, Alton and Miles are really carrying this team. I kind of, like to sit back and watch them do their thing and learn. But, just having a blast right now, having a blast this season. I know I made a couple early mistakes early on in the season, got into a couple guys, and just kind of learn from that and, boots on the ground and start to go at it.
Well, don't sell yourself short, man. You've been fast, you've shown pace, and it's been evident here on the broadcast each and every week. We certainly wish you the best of luck going forward. We want to ask, though, are you going to make the All-Star race next week?
I should be there, yes.
Looking forward to that, and then we roll into Talladega Super Speedway for round one of the playoffs. How do you feel about Speedway racing?
I love Speedway racing. I've always just loved it. Kind of learned a lot from Miles as well. Just kind of, going with the flow, just trying to stay out of trouble and, make your moves at the end and, kind of really, attack it. But feel pretty confident as long as, Laser Racing can stay out of trouble. I think we'll be up front again.
We certainly look forward to it, Alex. I know you got some thanks out of the way. Is there anyone else you want to shout out to before we let you run?
Big shout out to my wife who lets me get on this thing once or twice a week. Take time away from our busy lives with our 3 little rascals that we have. Shout out my dad, my wife again, my kids, my wife's grandmother. I know she loves stock car racing, so I know she likes to watch these while I'm racing. Want to thank you for the broadcast. You're an amazing broadcaster, and got to thank my teammates again, and thank Laser Racing and Gradient Concepts again, Ben Pierce.
All right, Alex. Well, thanks for the kind words, man. Again, a strong run here. Congratulations, and good luck in the coming weeks.
Thank you.
It's Alex Bryson, your third-place finisher here at Michigan. These guys are good. There's just no other way to talk about it. They're good. They're fast each and every week. Again, sometimes we have a race. We got 12, 13, 14, 15. We lost count cautions, but then we come to Michigan, and we don't have a single one. So I guess the average works out pretty nicely. These guys can get it done. Don't let anybody tell you different. We're looking forward to it here. Again, the All-Star race next week, and then Talladega, the race after that. With that said, though, let's take a look at the race results from tonight. Of course, we talked to our top 3, Steve Miles, Justin Bondurant, Alex Bryson was your top 3, then Alex Cummings, Cameron Ingram, Sean Petchin, Jacob Drift, Brandon Alphin, Luke Strayer, and Tristan Lattiser was your top 10. Jason Dalton finishes the 11th spot, Sam Fontaine was 12th, Diego Sainz 13th, Chris Evans 14th, Cedric Ingram was 15th, Josh Gagnon 16th, Tyler Brewer finishes in the 17th spot, Sam Barnes will get credit for position number 18, 19th goes to Richard Midkiff, Chris Dean, late pit stop, finishes 20th, and Matt Telder out of this one early, 21st, 83 laps down after contact with the 77 of Sam Fontaine. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Appreciate the viewership. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already done so, check out the website, hbrtv1.com. We try to post the live link there each and every race, as well as some post-race photos. We've even got the ability for, there's a new tab in there effectively for racing logos, racing type sponsorship logos for those of you that paint iRacing cars. Sometimes they're hard to find logos, sometimes they're custom-made logos. If you've got something oddball that's not there or not easy to find, just shoot me a message. We'll put it up there for you as well, for not only you to use in the future, but anybody else that might need to hunt around for that particular logo. We do appreciate it. Also, as far as the social side goes, youtube.com/@HBRTV1. Give us a like, a follow, a share, and a subscribe. Subscribe especially. Like especially. We've got 597 followers right now. We need 3 more to crack that 600 mark. If you're not already following us, please do. Certainly do appreciate it. Those likes make a difference. The follows make a difference. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of the action. And we'll go from there. That's all I've got, guys. Congratulations to Steve Miles once again. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good night.